happening in our company, across the company. But I'll tell you what, we as a relentless nation in Michigan, we are putting the state of Michigan on the map back again in Primerica. And I'll tell you what, listen. For years and years before Ian became the second millionaire, or I'm sorry, the third millionaire in Primerica, in Michigan, how many years was it before a second millionaire came before Bayer? You don't even know. So a long time, probably 20 years, right? And I'll tell you what, I believe that out of this room alone, in the next 5 to 7 years, we're going to see 3 or 4 new $1 million earners. So listen, I want to talk just for a couple of minutes about the dream of Primerica. What it truly means to live the Primerica dream. And you know, I think a lot of us could agree that as we've been raised, you know, we've been taught the American dream. You know, the American dream traditionally is to, you know, get a good, you know, go to school, you know, grade school, high school, go off to college, take out student loans, get yourself in, you know, $150,000 of student loan debt, right? To go out and after that, get a quote unquote a good job, right? That's only going to pay you. Did you know that the median income for millennials is like $21,000 a year? Tell me how the frick you're going to pay off $100,000 of student loans making $21,000 a year. Listen, the system is designed for you to lose in the American dream. The system is designed for you to be dependent upon a job, to be dependent upon a system. And what's so powerful about the Primerica dream is that you don't have to depend upon anybody else but you and your work ethic and your merit to go out and live the life that God Himself has designed for you to live. Amen? I'm going to get preaching here now. I only got 10 minutes because I want to give it away to our main speakers tonight. Go to the next slide. Right, so we talked about that, the American dream. Go to school, go to college, get a good job. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you straight up the truth. You ready for it? Yes. Do you want the truth? Yes. I don't care what job you have. There is no such thing as a good job. It does not exist. Can I ask you guys a question? Yep. If you have a job, do you have the ability to get fired? Yeah. If you have a job, do you have the ability to get laid off? Yeah. Can companies downsize? Yeah. Can they cut benefits? Yeah. If that's the case and you answered yes to all those things, you might even be working at a good job, but it doesn't exist if those things were all yeses. In Primerica, your job, you are your job, right? You can, listen, nobody here can fire you. Nobody here can let you go. The only person that fires you is you. You fire yourself by your lack of belief. You fire yourself by your lack of work ethic. You fire yourself by not giving your very all and reaching your very best. Next slide. So what I am so excited with our lives and what we've been able to have in the Primerica dream is a life of total and absolute freedom. You know, I was thinking about Josh and Kayla. You know, this month they're going to do $100,000 in life insurance premium. Last month they did close to $60,000 in premium. Do you know that when they do $100,000 in premium, I am going to override them, by the way. It's pretty awesome. I love it. But listen, how many appointments did I go with you guys on your team last month? How many? I'm sorry, what was that? Zero. And I probably will go on how many this month with your team? Zero. So whether I work or not, I can literally sit in my freaking PJs all day, and I will, when they do $100,000 of life insurance this premium, with me being involved, none, I will make $11,000 to $15,000. That is my good. Listen, that is freedom. That is freedom. When you have a system, when you have a business, when you have people that are out fighting for their dreams and their goals. Do you know, I remember crying, saying, God, years, listen, 2 to 3 years, 2 to 3 years, you will have 30 to 50 years of total freedom. Let me ask you guys another question. If I told you, listen, if I told you that it was impossible to fail, that you would have a business that would pay you 10 to 15, 20,000 a month residually without you having to do a thing after those 2 to 3 to maybe 5 years of total focus, and I told you it was guaranteed, would you work a little harder than you are right now? What would that commitment level look like? Would you make that extra phone call? Would you talk to that extra person? Would you have a greater sense of urgency to get the job done, not tomorrow, but today? Not tomorrow, but now. Right? If you have the opportunity to go close something, Jordan Burns, right? You go close it. We don't wait today, right? That means that you got to have a sense of urgency, because that next leader, that next Joshua Genie might be the one that causes your business to explode. How would your life look, and what would your business look like if you committed for 2 to 5 years at an unprecedented, unreasonable level? If you knew you couldn't fail, how hard would you work? It's so powerful when you make that commitment. Listen, and there is freedom. I know I got 3 minutes. There is freedom in your total commitment. When you make the decision, you decide, you put to death every other option in your life. You know, maybe you thought you were going to go one way in school, and maybe that's not what you're going to do anymore, because you found Primerica and it lights a flame inside of you that no educator could ever do, standing behind, teaching just theory, right? Maybe you were a business major, but maybe you got involved in Primerica, and this thing is lighting something inside of you, and theory's not going to make you money. Theory's not going to help people. It's you going out and changing families' lives that's going to make the difference. Maybe you had an idea in your mind, right? Whoever you are, I'm speaking to tonight, about you just got out of college and you started your quote-unquote dream job, and you didn't realize that you thought it was a good job, but now you're enslaved and you're in a cage, but you're longing to be free. There's something inside of you. Well, guess what? This is the answer to your prayers. This is the answer to your dreams. This is the answer to unlock the divine destiny that you have for your life. Next slide. The question is, what dream are you living? Are you living the dream that has been sold to you by maybe your parents, maybe a relative, maybe a teacher, an educator, a counselor, a coach, the government, whoever we're talking about? What dream are you living? Because I will tell you this, if you're subscribing to the American dream of what has been taught you, you're subscribing to a nightmare. You're subscribing to a nightmare of just getting by, just being able to pay your bills, right? A job stands for just over broke. They pay you just enough where you have to come back on Monday. How many of you guys dread Sunday nights because you have to go to work the next morning, right? You're like a kid growing up. The kid that hates to go to school, hates it. It's just like, right? They don't want to go to school, so they wake up, they sit in the classroom 8 hours, then come back, do their homework, same thing. That's what the American nightmare is going to work, checking in, checking out, taking your lunch break, the bell rings, we go back to work, oh, my break's over, right? You can't even go take a, can't go pee, I was going to say piss, but excuse my language. Take piss without saying, boss, is it okay I go to the bathroom? No, right? No, but in Primerica, you live a life of freedom where you control your time, you control your resources, you control how much money you give, you can control your life in the fullness of it. What dream are you living? And listen, you might not yet be living the Primerica dream, but you're one action step, you're one decision away from living the American or the Primerica dream. Listen, is it going to happen overnight? No. Is it going to take work? Yes. right? Is it going to cost you a lot? Yes. Is it going to hurt sometimes? Yes. But man, when you make that decision to win for once in your life, to win for you, it will bring you a life of total freedom. God bless you guys.